Almighty Radio.
Welcome, everyone. This is 5RoundMMA. My name is Alex Ramirez, alongside my co-host, Albert Cita. And on the phone from sunny Orlando, Florida, we have Guillermo Cita. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Guillermo, is it sunny?
You know what? It is sunny.
Wow, disposition in sunny Orlando, Florida.
What is rain? What is cold weather out in Florida?
I don't know. You tell us.
I don't know what cold
70?
weather is in California.
60, right?
I
65?
don't even own a jacket, guys.
You're still wearing cargo shorts?
I'm wearing this sweater, and it's 70 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's a little bit chilly. It's a frost. Good to be back. We were off last week. We had an interview with the Fighters Rep President George Francis. Go check that out in our archives. Great interview. He talked about his upcoming January 13th fight in San Bernardino, California. That's Fighters Rep. Visit FightersRep.com for more information on how to get tickets and how to even sponsor the event. Albert, how's it going? You ready for the holidays? We're like a week away from Christmas, New Year's, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to try my hardest to go to the gym this week. Yeah. Because I'm probably going to eat ridiculous amounts, and I don't plan to limit myself in any way.
Yeah. What about you, Guillermo? You got two little boys. You got done Christmas shopping already?
No, you know what? I still got a little bit left, but the major stuff is done.
We can hear in the background.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Great parenting, Guillermo.
My whole theory behind all my nephews, thanks to my older brother and my other brother, is they don't remember their presents this young. So I still haven't got them really anything when it comes to the holidays or present. But pretty soon I'm going to have to start buying stuff because they're going to remember.
That's a good point. Yeah, because I have a little baby nephew too.
They're not going to remember when you get them.
What it is.
Yeah.
They play with the box more than the toys anyways. So this week's show, we've got a lot to talk about. UFC Winnipeg. To me, what I thought was kind of a snooze fest.
Mike Perry, who?
Yeah.
Mike Perry, who?
They got Brian Ortega versus Max Holloway, the next great rivalry in the UFC, question mark. GSP stepping down, being the true sportsman. Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou announced already. And then we'll take a look at UFC 219, Holm versus Cyborg. So, Albert, get that timer started for me. Ready? Round number one, UFC Winnipeg happened this past Saturday. Robbie Lawler loses to Rafael Dos Anjos, a 5-round unanimous decision. And what I thought was kind of a lackluster fight. People kept saying what a war, what a grind it was. I mean, other than that, 30 seconds of Rafael Dos Anjos just teeing off on Robbie Lawler. That was pretty much it for me anyways. And for me, this kind of continues the trend of the welterweight division just being so absolutely boring to me. I mean, the only really exciting guy is Colby Covington, just because he's talking trash on social media. Other than that, it starts from the top down. Tyron Woodley's super boring. Thus, the rest of the division, the rest of the division is getting super boring. Albert, let me get your thoughts on the main event, and then your thoughts on the welterweight division as a whole.
Well, of course, I have never been a Robbie Lawler fan. I don't care what people say out there, how they think he's an exciting fighter. I remember when they announced the Cowboy Cerrone fight, all those MMA nerds out there were getting happy and excited. I thought, who cares? It didn't matter to me. And that to me, there's separate fans. There's those fans that were so excited to see that Cowboy Robbie Lawler fans, which I do not associate myself with. Okay. And then there's the ones that know for a fact that doesn't even matter anymore. Yeah. And that's not the exciting fight. Give me something intelligent in there. All right. With that said, though, the welterweight division, it's kind of bottom heavy, I think. I think Usman is an exciting fighter. I think Gunnar Nelson got his eye poked out and is still an exciting fighter in this division. I think there's other welterweights that can lift this division. And just Tyron Woodley needs to fight him in order to do that.
Guillermo, thoughts on the main event, and then your thoughts on the welterweight division as it stands right now.
Okay, so first of all, I have a question for you guys. Did you guys even watch the fight?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's obviously that you guys are discarding Robbie Lawler when he tore his ACL or MCL, PCL, something. That guy couldn't even stand, and he still took shots. Wow. And it just to show this is the thing. At the end, I was not.
You're sounding like a Matt Brown fan.
Not even, but at the end, I wasn't impressed by Rafael Dos Anjos. You had a standing target in front of you, and you couldn't put it away. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, you guys talk about bottom heavy. I think the problem is the champ. It's not bottom heavy. It's just that the champ is one. There's very inactivity at the top, and it's just that your boy Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He's kind of been, I would say, holding up the division because he had the 2 fights against Tyron Woodley, and then since then, I mean, he's beaten everybody else. So until you kind of, it's a whole heavy division all over again. Remember when we had Cain Velasquez as champion and Junior Dos Santos whooping everybody, and it's like we can't see well, we can't see Junior Dos Santos versus Cain Velasquez 4. So who are the up and coming? And then they threw in Verdicio Verdum out of nowhere. I think that's what's holding back the welterweight division. It's not really that it's bottom heavy. It's just that you have a champ and you have a contender holding everybody else back. And that contender can't face the champion again because he's lost twice.
No, yeah, I totally get. I mean, like Albert. I'm not a fan of Robbie Lawler, but I respect the guy. Super tough, one of the toughest guys to ever step in the octagon. But like I said, I mean, other than when he gets in a war, he's not really appealing. Like he doesn't cut the best promos. I do believe I agree with you, Gam, about Tyron Woodley. I think his shoulder's hurt now, so he's gonna step away.
Yeah, honestly, I think they should treat Wonderboy Thompson as the uncrowned champion.
Yeah.
And just have him fight all these number one contenders. I think he should fight Rafael Dos Anjos. I think he should fight the guy that just beat Mike Perry.
Santiago
Ponzinibbio, and also Usman. I think just literally treat Wonderboy like he's the champion.
And then we have Colby Covington, who's making noise outside the octagon.
He has to get a couple more wins.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, at least he's getting attention to the division.
Give him Usman, and then give Rafael Dos Anjos Wonderboy, and then give the other guy to Wonderboy after that.
Or Albert. So it's called something called an interim title, and Stephen.
I don't want to see no more interim titles.
Rafael Dos Anjos. For the interim championship.
Stephen Thompson, that's a good idea. I mean, yeah, might as well because I think
the only reason I'm for an interim title is just to see Wonderboy have a title.
Yeah, and then even before that, Tyron Woodley's like, oh, I'm gonna go up to welterweight and fight GSP, and like he had no interest he just has it in his mind he's a super fight champion, which I have no idea where he got this from. Since he won the belt since day one, he's got these big fights.
Till this day, I have never met a Tyron Woodley fan.
But and guys, what's his name? Carlos Condit makes his return.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see now that Damian Maia's pretty much out of the picture because he was the other one that was causing a lot of trouble in that welterweight division. We'll see if Carlos Condit can shake up some of the matchups up at the top.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're waiting for the fresh blood to come in here in the welterweight division. I mean, it could be Colby Covington. It was supposed to be Mike Perry, right, Guillermo?
Well, that's why you guys are all excited over Mike Perry and Covington because you guys are fresh names and you guys are tired of hearing the same exact names in that welterweight division because they haven't changed. It's crazy that Nick and Nate Diaz haven't fought in forever, yet that's who everybody wants.
It's true. They're still out there. That's it for round number one. We're going to take a small break and come back and talk about the future of the featherweight division. Sorry, featherweight division that happened a couple weeks ago. We didn't get
your boy Ricardo Lamas.
Hey, well, first of all, his opponent was overweight by 3 pounds, and then he was supposed to fight Jose Aldo that night. Anyways, that's a different. We're talking about Brian Ortega and Max Holloway being the next great rivalry in the UFC. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to one of our great sponsors at 5 Rounds Clothing Line. Excuse me. 5 Rounds offers unique clothing collection of apparel accessories by incorporating the culture, style, and attitude of mixed martial arts. They are constantly evolving and improving to become the best fightwear company in the MMA world. Check out the lines of hoodies, hats, t-shirts, and other great accessories at 5rounds.net. That's number 5rounds.net. Follow them on Twitter at 5roundswear and on Instagram at 5rounds_. Get it on 5 Rounds Clothing Wear. Round 2 coming up next. Welcome back. Time for round number 2. So a couple weeks ago, we didn't talk about it because we were off last week, but Brian Ortega chokes out Cub Swanson in amazing fashion.
What an awesome choke win.
It was a guillotine, hanging guillotine.
What an awesome choke.
I know.
You guys got to be kidding me.
Come on.
Dude, it was a standing guillotine, bro.
That he adjusted midair, too. They actually got a quote from Cub Swanson said it felt like he was going to die. So he tapped out. So obviously Ortega's undefeated in the UFC. He's 26 years old. I kind of posed this question on our Instagram page at 5RoundMMA. Is Brian Ortega versus Max Holloway the next great rivalry in the UFC?
Yes.
Now the Albert results. What's the poll result?
No, I'd ask for applause. That's for comments, but nobody really commented. No, they said that. Yeah, actually, this has the potential to be the next great rivalry because obviously they're both super young, super talented. They have their paths of yes to cross in the UFC. I think and Ortega's super respectful. So you know what? I'll let Frankie Edgar get his shot when Max. And I'm pretty sure we're all confident Max Holloway is going to beat that. Then you got Ortega versus Max Holloway for the future. This, to me, the last thing I saw, this one reminded me of was JDS versus Cain Velasquez, and I only hope that the UFC doesn't like rush the gun and have them fight 3 times in less than 2 years like they did with JDS.
No, that's exactly what I want.
And Cain Velasquez. You want them to like keep going like that?
That's what I say. I say Frank Edgar get in behind the line and work your way back up. Hey, that's your fault. That you weren't sparring correctly. I say Brian Ortega jumps the line, and we have this feud now. People forget some of the best fights out there are feud fights. The Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. The reason it was good is because the build up on it. But if it was a feud, it would have been the best feud ever. Muhammad Ali had a couple of them. I'm just saying I think what makes this whole story is you have 2 young guys that can potentially fight 3 times. And that excites me.
Exactly. Hey, Guillermo, so you're not too keen on the Ortega versus Holloway rivalry that could potentially to take the UFC to the future?
No, because think about where Ortega's at, is specifically of selling a card. Yes, he main evented against Cub Swanson, but it was Cub Swanson's card, not Brian Ortega's. Second, it was UFC Fresno. Come on, guys. We're all originally from California. What's in Fresno?
Cows.
That's my point.
Cows and lettuce.
The thing is, you got to put Brian Ortega. I don't care what Albert says. There's no denying his skills. Okay, I'll admit that.
I'm full in with Ortega. I already ordered my Ortega T-shirt. UFC.com.
I don't know where TC is at, but I'm gonna visit it.
But the thing about Ortega, one, he's too respectful to sell a storyline right now against Max Holloway, and it shows you about the whole Frankie Edgar. Give him the shot, and I'll be waiting after or whatever. Come on. You gotta call your shots when they're there. When
that's GSP style right there. GSP style is the best style. Everybody knows that.
Can't be talking about charities, right, Guillermo? Talking about Brand Ortega, his post-fight speech. So I'm giving all my money to charity or something like that. We don't want that. We want some bloodthirsty smack talk. But maybe, but then Guillermo, to that point, maybe this will showcase Max Holloway to step up his trash talking game and to prove to everybody else that he could also be that. What happened?
But he's not in Max Holloway's radar, to be honest with you.
For the moment.
I think Brian Ortega needs that signature win that really really propels him. And I'm thinking about maybe if Jose Aldo's up for it and he's somewhat healthy, we can see this fight kind of the same time frame as Frankie Edgar versus Max Holloway. And I think that would be the welcome out party for Brian Ortega.
I will say this. We had a featherweight just win last night, and he was in a very impressive fashion, Emmett. I think Emmett versus Ortega, Mike Emmett versus Ortega makes perfect sense. If they want him to wait. Because
what did you not just listen to my
Ricardo Lamas was a staple in this division.
Josh Emmett, sorry.
And right now, there's nobody else in the division. I mean, you're just going to throw Jose Aldo again against another young guy. There's no other fighter in the featherweight division that he can make a name for himself. That's the problem. Ricardo Lamas just lost.
You know what bothers me is that everybody's taking the same mind frame as you, Albert, that, you know what, I'm not ranked and I beat the number 2 ranked guy, so that automatically makes me the second ranked.
On short notice by 2, by the way. And he came in overweight, Josh Emmett.
But my point is that does not rank you number 2. It's just,
that's how rankings work.
Well, I think that
rankings in the UFC
look at college football. When you defeat, when you're not ranked and then you beat a ranked team, you get ranked.
Yeah, that's how in the normal world it would work. It's not. That's not how rankings work in the UFC.
Not in this UFC anymore, anyways.
Yeah.
Can we at least agree that it's kind of cool to have 2 26-year-olds who are basically, almost one's undefeated, one only has 3 losses, and it has avenged all of his losses except for the Conor McGregor one, Max Holloway. And this is kind of a new blood in the featherweight division. We're in the post-McGregor era. Jose Aldo's on his way out. Chad Mendes is no longer there. After Holloway beats Frankie Edgar, we could close a chapter on Frankie and just kind of get the usher in this new blood of featherweight. So I'm excited. I hope these two have a great rivalry.
Let's not forget about Pantera.
Oh, and you got Yair Rodriguez lurking in the shadows too. Who
got destroyed by Frankie Edgar.
I still blame Sean Shelby for that too. It was too soon for El Pantera to fight Frankie Edgar. You should know better. Now we're down to one Mexican star.
That's a Max Holloway. There's no denying that Frankie Edgar is one of the best of all time.
Of course, but we just need to Frankie Frankie 2 times needs to go. That's it for round number 2. We're going to come back and talk about GSP being the true sportsman and not wanting to hold up the middleweight division any longer. But before we do that, let's talk about Mobilitas mobility tools, the best mobility tools on the planet. Durable, portable, manufacturer release products designed with more grip to help you improve performance and recover faster. Visit yourjointshouldn'thurt.com to shop their great lines of products and for more information. They're also on Instagram at Mobilitas. Like them on Facebook and visit youtube.com/yourjointshouldn'thurt for great tutorials on how to stay healthy, get those muscles nice and tender so you can go out and get the best workout possible. It's Mobilitas mobility tools. Round 3 coming up next. Welcome back. Time for round number 3. Let's talk about the long, glorious, respectful reign of George St. Pierre as the middleweight champion. I think
that's probably one of the best reigns I've ever seen.
I look back at it now, and those are the glory days, I think.
Yeah.
He actually has to step down after having some sort of intestinal disease, colitis, I think they said. And then he's like, you know what? I don't want to hold up the division anymore. I'm going to step down as champion.
Wow.
So Robert Whittaker is now the official middleweight champion. He'll take on Luke Rockhold. I forgot. I don't know the exact. I should get it here too, but that's kind of it. How about being?
How amazing is George St. Pierre right now? He did what no other fighter was willing to. What
Conor McGregor.
My boy Cain Velasquez wasn't able to do. Conor McGregor. All these people that know that they're going to be inactive, do the right thing, and just relinquish the belt. He didn't have to do it. You could take a whole year off. Apparently, Michael Bisping, Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
You could take a whole year off apparently and still be considered a champion.
You can call out guys who don't want to fight you.
Exactly.
On TV every week and
But
not defend your title. But
George St. Pierre is probably the most class act guy in the whole MMA universe. That he was able to do this. Much respect to him. I don't know. I mean, the guy won me over already. He's over and he's over big.
Hey, Guillermo, so Dana White was asked about it. He said, you know what? I'm not even mad. I get it. He said GSP came out of retirement, handpicked Michael Bisping, beat him, and now he stripped the title or let go of the title. Dana White said basically it is what it is. He kind of had a gut feeling what happened. Your thoughts on maybe what GSP did and him, relinquishing the title, and now Robert Whittaker versus Luke Rockhold at UFC 221 on February 10th in Western Australia. Guillermo, go ahead.
Okay, so you guys ready?
Yeah.
Coward. What a freaking coward.
Wow.
Right. I don't want to face Robert Whittaker either. But go ahead.
After this, I'm gonna WebMD whatever the heck
Colitis.
George St. Pierre has to really have an idea of if he's really faking this or is it legit. I'm gonna WebMD this. Second of all, once you saw Robert Whittaker was his matchup, he got scared. I mean, come on. And then the other thing too is Luke Rockhold's calling him left and right, and Luke Rockhold will destroy him as well. I mean, let's face it, dude. That top 3-headed monster, and you can add like 4 or 5 guys: Jacare, Yoel Romero,
Kevin Gastelum,
Robert Whittaker. No, I think Gastelum would be a great matchup against GSP, but that would be a pretty close fight. But Yoel Romero, Jacare, then you have Weidman, Luke Rockhold, and then the champion Whittaker. I would hands down go against GSP in any of those fights right there. Second of all, GSP handpicked his opponent and Michael Bisping.
Just like we all been saying, though.
What if Michael Bisping was not the champion? Hey, guys, what if Michael Bisping was not the champion?
Then he would not take that. Yeah. I said from day one that I could name 1,000 people that could be Michael Bisping.
So respectful, so class act. I waited for Michael Bisping to win the title and call my shot. To me, that's a coward. That's a ways out.
So now
he has a popularity behind him.
We're blaming George St. Pierre because he's intelligent.
Because he picked his shots.
Because he game plans. That's how you properly game plan.
Him respectful and nice and stuff like that. He was in it for the money. He was in it for an easier matchup than some of the harder matchups that exist in the middleweight division.
To GSP,
I don't understand it. An NBA player gets praised for picking the right shots, but yet a fighter can't do the exact same thing. He gets booed. Guillermo, is that your philosophy?
You better boo Kevin Durant then, Guillermo.
You better boo Steph Curry for taking that good shot.
I do boo him. It's a little bit different because it's more of a full contact sport. So I mean, like,
but we can all admit Kevin Durant's a coward.
Someone basketball and soccer, football, whatever. that you could play another pickup game or another game here and there. That's different from like hand to
But
hand
it's the same
battle.
thing as forming these super teams. I know you. Isn't one of your favorite soccer teams a super team, Guillermo?
We're going way off here.
Bunch of cowards got to team up just to win the Champions League all the time.
Okay, yeah,
that's true too.
Okay, real quick, are you cool with Luke Rockhold being the number one contender? I know there's a little drama there with Kevin Gasson. Kevin Gasson thought he should have been the number one contender.
He lost against Chris Weidman. There's no way you could get.
So you're okay with Luke Rockhold?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, remember when we first said Luke Rockhold was going to be kind of delayed?
Yeah.
He took that fight with David Branch, which I kind of didn't agree with because David Branch, his ranking. But I mean, if it was just a tune-up fight to kind of show us that he's still a top contender, I guess he did that.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of who's fought the more legit fighters, you got to give it to Kevin Gastelum.
But he lost one of them though.
To Chris Weidman, so that even actually you can make the argument that Chris Weidman deserves a title shot.
Well, not with that devastating loss to Romero. The only one that's dumb for waiting for so long is Yoel Romero. That's what he gets for waiting. Yoel Romero should have.
Well, what are you talking about? Yoel Romero lost to Whitaker.
He lost to Whitaker. But I'm saying he could have stepped up and maybe fought Kevin Gastelum or Luke
supposedly,
Rockhold.
Albert, supposedly, because I'm on the UFC rumors dirt sheet.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Yoel Romero actually had a fight with Kevin Gastelum, and Kevin Gastelum turned it down.
Oh wow!
So we'll see. Supposedly.
So my apologies, Yoel Romero.
That's it for round number 3. We're going to take a small break and come back and enter the championship rounds. But before we do that, I want to point you guys to the direction of one of our new sponsors, Girl Gang Wraps, hand wraps. It's basically hand wraps that are created that for the woman that practice martial arts but also wants to make a fashion statement. If you're tired of kind of the whole masculine thing, they're there for you here. It's basically designed exclusively for the feminine, strong, and powerful fight babe. Their motto is fight gear for fight babes, fight like a girl in badass apparel. Visit girlgangwraps.com to shop the great lines of products. They have hand wraps, also got hoodies, hats, or hoodies, t-shirts, also buttons and stuff like that, the cool stuff. And also on Instagram at Girl Gang Wraps. So give them a follow and use promo code GGFG to get a discount on your purchase and tell them 5RoundMMA sent you. So we're going to take a small break and come back and enter the championship rounds next. Welcome back. Let's enter the championship rounds. Round number 4, UFC 220, January 20th, 2018, TD Gardens Arena, Boston, Massachusetts. Francis Ngannou will challenge Stipe Miocic for the UFC heavyweight title. I already think this is kind of super quick because Francis Ngannou just fought December 2nd. Now in almost a little over a month, he's fighting again for the title. Do you guys like this quick turnaround for Francis? I always think the UFC's they're so quick to jump the gun on stuff and don't let anything build up. I mean, we'll get a week of an embedded or a prime time. That's about it.
But when you throw one punch in your whole fight, I think you got to strike.
But this is like a heavyweight bout. Go on a press tour. Go on, have them go on radio shows and sports talk shows. Build this heavyweight division up. I mean, but no, it's going to be thrown in, in a month with the rest of them after the holidays when nobody's really paying attention. I think the UFC is kind of blowing it here on not building this up properly, but that's just my opinion. Albert, you want to have it right away, right?
I think strike with iron. The guy threw one punch.
He almost murdered a man.
One punch. You got it. You just have to rebook him right there and right then. When Brock Lesnar beat Goldberg, he got booked right away in the next month.
Did he?
I don't know.
Oh my god!
But the point is, I think they're doing the right thing. The worst thing you can do with this heavyweight division is keep it even longer on the shelf.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as you're promoting it, they're on a tour. That's not really on the shelf. I mean, again, is this more because Stipe Miocic hasn't fought since May of last year, or May of this year, and won't be? They want to wait a year for him to fight.
I think it's a combination of two things. I mean, I think once Stipe Miocic, there is inactivity, and for some reason it seems like they're tippy-toeing around Verdum.
Yeah.
Because Verdum has been calling that title shot. Second of all, I'm scared to even shake Ngannou's hand at this moment. Don't let me forget about being scared to shake this guy's hand. Strike while the iron's hot. I mean, right now, if I saw Ngannou at Disney World, I would not approach the guy because I would be scared to get knocked out by a shake hand. So let's keep it because everybody has that fear. Everybody saw those memes of like him and a superhero in a cape.
One Punch Man and like the Mortal Kombat fatality.
I mean, that's still fresh in our minds. Why not? I mean, I don't care what Albert says. You don't need to build up with this. Ngannou, it seems like Ngannou seems like this villain, but he hasn't really went to that villain role, or he's starting to show. But I mean, this super mighty villain boss that no one's gonna be able to beat, and I think that to me that's exciting for me. You don't need it. You don't need him to say anything else. You need to actually more from.
I just think that you need a heavyweight to sell this division, and Stipe Miocic is a nice guy.
But he has the it factor, right?
Yeah.
He has the wardrobe down. I dig it.
That's true.
Right? He's sponsored by Body Armor, which is probably the best drink out there that I have ever tried, ever used. Come on, it has the best owner in the world, Kobe Bryant. So he has everything going for him, and I think that in himself, he can market the heavyweight division. He's what the heavyweight division needs. Even though Stipe has been an awesome fighter, awesome champion, let's keep it real. We have
These days are numbered.
yeah, no. It's just I just can't get excited over Stipe, and it's nothing against Stipe. I don't know what it is, but
he's a little goofy.
I got vanilla over here with Stipe, and I got chocolate roll with Ngannou, and I want chocolate roll.
Feel like you want that roll chocolate. Chocolate
I like
crumble.
I like some strawberry in between there.
And that's Cain
Velasquez. That's some dulce de leche. Is that what you want?
Yeah. What I was gonna say is, the heavyweight division's really not filled with anybody like really talking it.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
with
Even Cain Velasquez.
But Ngannou hasn't even said anything, and
but
yet,
just his aura,
he's the top of the top.
Just the way he dressed, his swagger, I like it.
You don't have to say much, I guess, when you're almost decapitating men in the octagon.
Exactly. When you're a legit murderer and you can murder people and not go to jail, I think that's all you need.
Also, real quick, to touch on Cain Velasquez, Dan Cormier recently said that he's back training again and that Cain Velasquez has lost 5 years of his career due to injuries.
I've always told you guys that July is meant for Cain Velasquez versus Ngannou.
Is that what it is, really? Yeah.
That's the dream matchup for July.
So do you think now maybe Cain Velasquez could finally get healthy in 2018 will be the return of Cain Velasquez?
I just really hope he fights someone before he fights the champion.
Yeah.
That's what I really
hope he fights. To be honest with you, Albert, I hope
at this point it doesn't matter.
As long as he fights in Las Vegas or in California, beats Verdum, and then we set up Cain versus Ngannou.
I like it.
Well, we'll see what
happens.
happens.
Your bookkeeping.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. That's it for round number 4. We're going to come back and preview UFC 219.
Call me Shelby, dog.
Home versus Cyborg. But before we do that, I want to point your attention to Dioxyme energy supplements for your workout. Supplements with morals that promote active lifestyle, improve athletic performance, and provide health benefits. All their supplements follow the strict QSE standards. Visit Dioxyme.com. That's Dioxyme to shop their great lines of products, and also follow them on all forms of social media. Dioxyme supplements. Get in there. It's holiday season. Get in shape. Don't get out of shape. Stay in shape. Round 5 coming up next. Time for the 5th and final round, but before we do that, I want to give a shout out to our great partner at FightBookMMA.com, the only place where you can find real combat sports news from all over the world, a website you can trust with accurate news from MMA, kickboxing, boxing, all under one roof. They cover everything from the local promotions to the major ones, UFC, Bellator, King of the Cage. It's all there. They promote and support local MMA to the major global organizations. That's FightBookMMA.com. They also have a great podcast section with a great collection of podcasts, MMA, combat sports podcasts. We're under there as well. Find them on Facebook. Like them on Facebook. They're also on Twitter and Instagram. That's FightBookMMA.com. Bookmark it. Do yourself a favor. Make that your go-to place for all things combat sports. UFC 219, Cyborg versus Home, December 30th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. So this is what we said when it was first announced, has the potential to be one of the greatest on paper women's bouts in history. Now, as we're nearing closer, you still feel that way? You still feel feeling good?
Not only do I feel that way, I feel more confident that Holly Holm is going to be known as the Shocking Queen. And she's going to get her second major.
The Shockmaster?
Yeah, the Shockmaster.
For you wrestling fans out there.
She's going to get not only her second belt in UFC, I think she's going to get the second biggest knockout in women's history. I think she's going to pretty much make her legacy here. And that's what she's going to be known for, as the girl who shocked everyone And I really do think she's going to knock out Cyborg.
Yeah. Also on this card, you got Edson Barboza versus Khabib Nurmagomedov, Jimmy Rivera against John
That's
Lineker,
the one I'm excited about.
Cynthia Calvillo versus Carla Esparza. Carlos Condit makes his return here against Neil Magny. And then also on this card, former guest of ours, Rick the Gladiator Glenn, by the way, too, guys. I just wanted to prompt that out. But Guillermo, Edson Barboza versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. Why are you excited about that one?
And then I'll tell you why I'm not excited.
Okay, go. Rebuttal.
Well, one, because the inactivity of Khabib Nurmagomedov. Remember last time he was supposed to fight El Cucuy and then disappointed the fans. So let's see. Because one, what's Tony Ferguson doing anyways these days besides chilling, doing elbow surgery?
Doing El Cucuy
So
stuff, bro.
yeah. But if Khabib beats Edson Barboza, wouldn't that set up again Tony Ferguson versus Khabib
I don't even
Nurmagomedov?
want to even go there, dude. Not even. I mean, like, I guess if you want to torture yourself, again, just be disappointed. If you want to be
I
stood
don't
up.
want to torture myself, but don't you guys ever want to see this fight finally play out?
Yeah, but you know what? Break my heart. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You know what I mean? I can't do that anymore. But go back to Khabib. So looking back, he fought twice. He fought 3 times in 2013. He fought once in 2014. Did not fight at all in 2015 and fought twice in 2016. His last fight was against Michael Johnson in November 12, 2016. So he's going to make his final appearance, his one and only appearance in 2017 at like the very end of the year. I mean, at this point, Albert, do we just kind of, if he makes it, it's a win, or what? Like if he just shows up in the octagon when the door closes, that's like a victory for him because this guy cannot stay healthy at all.
Is it a form of victory? Yeah. But I would say this. I would stood up once in my life. Only once.
Yeah.
That person continues to friend request me all the time. Guess what I do? I decline every single time because you don't stand me up.
Yeah.
First of all. Second of all, that's exactly what Nurmagomedov did to me. Not once. He did to me twice.
Yeah.
And till this day, I cannot forgive him. And I have never seen a pan be so, the iron be so hot and get so cold all of a sudden. I kid you not. Don't think I don't hit up the forums and check out what you MMA nerds are doing. No one's talking about Nurmagomedov no more. It's cool. Go look up and try to find how many hits he has on YouTube with his personal video log. It's very small. The iron's cold. He has, honestly, in all honesty, he has to go on a 3-fight winning streak to heat me up again.
Well, I'll take it one step further. Is don't give too much credit to Khabib Nurmagomedov, because you still have Edson Barboza who's knocking on the door. For Edson Barboza to knock off Khabib, that can elevate him to fight against Tony Ferguson, because I think that was a rumored fight anyway.
Yeah. Well, he lost him before. 2 years ago, he lost to him.
But I had heard that if the Conor McGregor thing and Khabib or something like that, he was already, with his hand raised. I think this will elevate him to another title shot. Yeah. Or not to a title shot. His first title shot. I think an opportunity to avenge his first loss.
Yeah, you have also Dustin Poirier out there, Eddie Alvarez, kind of rivalry. So I think there's about 4 guys where
there's plenty of contenders
where
at 155.
El Cucuy can go.
Plenty of contenders.
The winner of this one and the winner of Alvarez and Dustin Poirier when they kind of eventually lock up. So there's at least 2 other guys out there until McGregor makes up his mind. And he also said like I think TMZ caught up with him and he said what's next. He's I'll probably do MMA fight next. So I mean whatever that means, take it with a grain of salt or whatever. I don't know what to do with Conor McGregor anymore because there's Manny Pacquiao out there. In all
honesty, I think if Tony Ferguson was smart, he would just take the Eddie Alvarez fight.
Yeah.
It'll build his stock up more if he wins the bout.
Yeah.
And it also keeps him active because the last thing you want to do is be a forgotten champion, aka Stipe. You want. I think the best fighters are the ones that stay active no matter what, no matter who supposedly has the belt or not. I know for a fact like Robert Whittaker was getting. I think he needed to take that fight with Luke Rockhold rather than wait any longer before being one of those champions that kind of get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see.
To Robert Whittaker, I mean, he did he did get some type of knee surgery or knee injury.
The more active you are, the better.
The better. So UFC 219, Cyborg versus Holm, December 30th, live on pay-per-view. The last card of the year. This is going to be our last show of the year because we got 2 weeks coming up, Christmas and the New Year. So if you guys want to hear an MMA podcast for 2, you celebrate your family, right? So we will return again in 2018. I want to thank everybody for an amazing year again as well. A big thing to all of our sponsors, our network, our connections keep growing stronger and stronger. Again, thank you to all the listeners who support us week in and week out, who participate in our social media conversations. Thank you for everybody for doing that. But to keep up with us, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Podomatic, and YouTube. Like us on Facebook and visit FiveRoundMMA.com. It's FIVERoundMMA.com. Albert, what do you got?
I just want to say Christmas came early for me, and I only asked for one thing, and that was to have Matt Kemp back. And now that I got Matt Kemp back in the Dodgers, you don't know how excited I am. I once looked into his eyes, and I made the mistake.
You are a cheap date. That's all it takes to impress you is Matt Kemp?
Yep,
Wow.
that's it. Matt Kemp has me for life. I'm glad he's back, and that's about it.
All right,
You guys
Carol.
lost so much, Matt Kemp.
Yeah.
So I wanted to end the year. Make sure to go to Cedar Wars. Albert's been posting these short stories on there.
Nah, on
That
Cedar
could
Wars.
be-
That's on my own.
Is that what those are?
I know. They can find the link from Cedar Wars. They can get their read on for their Christmas time. Oh yeah, the cream of the crop.
You are now listening to Afro Mighty Radio.